Hello and welcome to Books of Blood. My name is John, and today I'm going to be doing my 36th edition of my horror movie collection. It's been about a month since I did one of these. In fact, I actually forgot that I had one coming up, and I usually try to do these once a month. That way I don't oversaturate my videos with these, since I am mainly a book channel, but this is something I've been doing for a while. And when I first started doing it, I didn't get a lot of views on them. I think because people said, well, you're supposed to be a book channel, why are you showing movies? But I love movies too. All right, so there you go, especially horror movies. So I've got 10 movies here. Now the thing about this time is that none of these movies are remakes. All of them are fairly original films. Now there are some that are based on books. When I say original films, in other words, I mean they're not a remake. So let's go ahead and get underway. So the first one, I actually just watched this one about 15 minutes ago for about the third or fourth time. I actually really enjoy this movie, and I'm really a big sucker for shark movies. So this one starred Blake Lively, and this is The Shallows. And this is one of those lenticular covers. I love that. Isn't that cool? I love these kind of covers, you know. Red, blue, you know. Anyway, it's pretty much a one-woman show. I mean, she carries the entire film. It's about a woman that goes to this remote beach in Mexico because it's this beach that her mother used to go to before she died. And Blake Lively's character, who is Nancy, she encounters this great white shark. She's attacked by it, and it becomes pretty much a contest of wills between the two of them. This was directed by, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right, but he's Homie Colette Serra. He also directed Orphan, about that crazy orphan chick, played by Isabel Fuhrman. Yeah, both were pretty good. I really enjoyed The Shallows. I am a sucker for shark movies, all right? I mean, if there's a shark, especially a great white in it, then I'm probably going to watch it, all right? So there you go. Next up, and was this the debut from Edgar Wright? I can't remember if it was or not. I think it was. Anyway, of course, I'm talking about Shaun of the Dead. I've actually only watched this movie twice. And when I posted about this movie on my original blog years ago, I had a lot of people who were very negative about this, but I hear some people say it's a horror comedy classic, and then I had some people say they hate it. I think he's done better, but I did enjoy this. Of course, it's a zombie comedy, and it's of course about this guy named Shaun, played by Simon Pegg, and his buddy, played by Nick Frost. I don't remember the buddy's name. Ed, Shaun and Ed, and of course, then they're going up against this whole big league of zombies. Anyway, that is Shaun of the Dead, directed by Edgar Wright. I almost didn't include this one as a horror movie because I didn't include any of the other Godzilla movies as horror. But this one, just to me, this is the most recent Japanese resurrection or incantation or whatever of Godzilla, and I'm talking about Shin Godzilla. And this was such a weird one because he kind of metamorphosized from almost like Godzilla going from tadpole to full-on Godzilla or something like that. And it's really spectacular to watch, and also the way his jaw would open up when he would breathe the fire, and then it's just something had more of a horror feel to it than most of the Godzilla films. So that is Shin Godzilla. All right. I cannot believe I've had this movie for 4 years, maybe. I think it's about 4 years, maybe 5 years. And I have not watched it yet. I've never watched this movie. Eventually I will, but I'm talking about Shutter Island. It's, of course, directed by Martin Scorsese and starring Leonardo DiCaprio. There's a mouthful for you. And I'm not even sure about the whole plot of the movie. I know that they go to this remote island, and it's kind of like an institute for the mentally ill or whatever, people with mental problems, something like that. And there's supposed to be a whole big twist about it. But I've never watched it. I don't know why. I love Martin Scorsese's movies, and DiCaprio is as talented as you can get. I have just never watched this movie. So I got to get around to doing that. All right, next up from M. Night Shyamalan, we have got Signs. What did you guys think about this movie? You know, I mean, I know Shyamalan has gotten a lot of bad flack for certain movies that he's done, like Avatar, The Last Airbender, or Avatar, whatever it's called, The Last Airbender or whatever. And I've heard that's a horrible movie. After Earth with Will Smith and his kid, I've heard that's a horrible movie. But when the man is on point, the man is on point, all right? I think Signs, to me, is one of his better movies. I enjoy this film. I love this whole thing about, instead of this big, wide-scale alien invasion, it concentrates on this one family and about this former minister played by Mel Gibson who's lost his faith. And just the twist at the end of the film is good too. Of course, Joaquin Phoenix is in it, Rory Culkin, young Abigail Breslin. So yeah, I enjoyed this movie. This is Signs. All right, and this one, next one up, is one of my absolute favorite movies of all time. And this is the one that, well, actually, no, it wasn't. Actually, Manhunter, directed by Michael Mann, was the one that introduced us to Hannibal Lecter, which, of course, he was played by Brian Cox. But it was The Silence of the Lambs that introduced us to Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal Lecter, and, of course, Jodie Foster as Clarice Starling. This is as near, I think this is one of the most absolutely perfect horror films, psychological horror films that I've ever seen. I mean, I just absolutely love this movie. I've watched this thing so many times. I finally got a hold of a Criterion Collection edition of it, which I'm really happy about. I'm sorry about the glare on the screen, though. Sorry, there you go. You can see it a little better. All right. Anyway, this is directed by the late Jonathan Demme, starred, of course, Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal Lecter, Jodie Foster, Scott Glenn as Jack Crawford. Just to me, like I said, I love that movie. It's just a perfect movie to me. Fantastic movie. All right. Okay. You know, I have never, well, actually, I take that back. I've played the Silent Hill video games on a handful of occasions. I haven't played it very much at all. Anyway, there was the movie edition of Silent Hill, and I know there's another one called Silent Hill Revelation or something like that. I've never seen that one. I think I've only seen this one once or twice. I'm not a huge fan of video game movies. I thought the new Mortal Kombat was so-so. It just seemed more like a thing where, okay, we get to the destination, we fight, we move on, then somebody else comes along, they get to the destination, they fight, and so on and so forth. And I'm not really familiar with the whole Silent Hill mythology or whatever, but like I said, this was fairly enjoyable. I mean, it didn't suck, but it wasn't spectacular either. Anyway, there you go, Silent Hill, excuse me. I said Silent Night because the next movie I have coming up is called Silent Night. There you go. And I can't remember, why did I not, I thought I had Silent Night, Deadly Night also. I don't know. I could have swore I had Silent Night, Deadly Night as well. But if I skipped it, I'll try to put it in the next edition. But anyway, this is a remake, I think, of Silent Night, Deadly Night. I'm not 100% sure. I think I've only seen this movie one time. Who is in this thing? Jamie King, who looks a lot like Jamie Presley. And of course, but Jamie King, she played in Sin City. She played the girl Goldie that Mickey Rourke's character was infatuated with in Sin City. Malcolm McDowell, Donald Logue, Ellen Wong, Brendan Fair. I don't remember much about this movie except that it's about a maniacal Santa Claus that goes out and kills people and stuff. And so I really don't have much judgment about it. So there you go, Silent Night. All right, next up, got two more right here. Got two more. Now, this is, of course, was based on Stephen King's novella, Cycle of the Werewolf. I have to admit the novella was actually better than this movie. But again, like shark movies, I am a sucker for werewolf movies and will usually watch them as long as there's a decent werewolf in them. And Silver Bullet did have a pretty decent werewolf. And of course, starred Corey Haim as this kid, and he's in a wheelchair. And he's all disappointed because he's not going to be able to do 4th of July. They're going to cancel it or something like that because of these murders. So he decides to go out and blow off fireworks himself. And he encounters the reason why they canceled the fireworks is because there's a werewolf in the town. The people don't know that, but there's a werewolf. Anyway, so it's a thing, kind of a battle of wills between him and this werewolf, and him having to figure out who the werewolf is. And then when he finally does find out, it's a big, huge revelation. If you read the novella or you saw the movie, you know who the werewolf is. If you haven't saw the movie, then watch it. You might have a little fun with it. I mean, it's not the greatest movie in the world, but it's still a pretty fun little horror movie. All right, and last but not least, we have Sinister. And Sinister is one of those movies where it's one of those, I hesitated a long time before watching this. And then I sat down and watched it, and the homemade, basically what amounts to homemade snuff film scenes were pretty damn disturbing. It's of course with Ethan Hawke, and he moves in with his family to this house, and he's going to write a new book. He writes true crime books, and he finds this box of videotapes, reel-to-reel tapes, or reel-to-reel film, and all of them depict these horrendous murders. Like I said, basically you're basically watching a snuff film, and then there's this whole thing with this demon named Bagul that terrorizes his family, terrorizes him. This was directed by Scott Derrickson, who also, of course, directed The Exorcism of Emily Rose, which I thought was really good, and Jennifer Carpenter knocked that role out of the park, if you ask me. Sinister is one of those that, as much as I wanted to hate this movie, and I don't know why, there's some about it I just had no interest, but then I decided to watch it, and I can't hate it. I actually love this movie. I thought it was really well done. I haven't seen Sinister 2. Was there a third one? Did they make a third one? I don't remember. I know they made a lot of Insidious movies, but I don't remember if they made how many Sinister movies they made. So if anybody knows, let me know in the comments below. Anyway, that's going to do it. That is my horror movie collection, part 36. Like I said, I don't know what happened to Silent Night, Deadly Night. Did I miss it somehow? I don't know. But that's going to do it. It is a Thursday afternoon. I'm going to post this on Monday, so you'll see it on Monday. That's kind of been what I'm doing, is posting on Mondays and sometimes Tuesday. I was doing doing videos every single day, except Saturday and Sunday, and I got burnt out. So I just decided to do like Mondays and Tuesdays, every now and then Wednesday if I can. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. Anyway, that's going to do it for this time. And you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. And good night. Thank you.